There are moments in life when you feel like everything is slipping through your fingers. You've prayed, you've tried, you've cried, you've cried, yet nothing moves. The doors remain closed, the path stays dark, and your heart whispers, why me? But what if I told you that the delay you hate is the protection you need? What if every second of waiting is Allah writing a story far greater than your plans could ever imagine? You see, when Allah delays your success, it's not because He has forgotten you. It's because He is preparing you. It's because He is preparing you. He is shaping you, polishing your heart, testing your patience, and cleansing your intention. Because what's coming requires more than just your talent. It requires your purity. Sometimes Allah holds back your dream because you're not ready to carry its weight. A small heart cannot hold a big blessing. A rushed soul cannot handle divine responsibility. So He slows your journey, not to punish you, but to protect you from breaking under blessings you're not yet built to bear. Every delay is a divine pause, not an ending. It's Allah whispering, my servant, I am still here. I am teaching you trust before triumph, faith before fame, gratitude before growth. Look back at your life. The things you begged for that didn't happen. Aren't you grateful now? Aren't you grateful now? The people who left, the jobs you lost, the prayers that seemed ignored, didn't they all lead you to something better? Something purer, something more peaceful? That's how Allah works. He delays what you want to give you what you need. He withholds the temporary to bless you with the eternal. Because success in this world means nothing if your soul is lost along the way. So don't measure your worth by how quickly things happen. Measure it by how patiently you trust. The delay is building you into the person who can handle the very dream you're praying for. Remember, even the prophet waited years before victory. He faced rejection, loss, and pain, yet never doubted that Allah's plan was perfect. Because he knew the promise of Allah is never broken. So today, when you see no results, when your dua seem unanswered, when your heart grows heavy, remind yourself, Allah has not forgotten you. He's crafting something behind the scenes that your heart will one day thank Him for. Perhaps the delay is not between you and success. Perhaps it's between you and surrender. Because once you stop questioning the timing and start trusting the planner, peace will flood your heart like never before. Your success is not late. It's simply being written at the pace of divine wisdom. And when it arrives, it will arrive so beautifully, so powerfully, that you look back and say, and now I understand why it took so long. So keep praying, keep working, keep trusting. Because Allah's delay is not rejection, it's redirection toward perfection. When Allah delays your success, it's not because He has turned away from you or denied your prayers. It is because He is preparing you for something far greater than what you can see right now. Delay is not denial, it is divine preparation. Allah's timing is always perfect, but our patience is not. When we ask for success, we often mean results, achievements, or recognition. But when Allah grants success, He means growth, purification, and readiness. Sometimes you think you are ready to handle a blessing, but Allah knows the truth of your heart. Allah knows the truth of your heart. He knows what you can carry and what would crush you. So, He delays, not to make you suffer, but to make you stronger. Each delay is a test, a mirror showing you how much faith you truly have. It teaches you to let go of your rush and to anchor your trust in Him instead of your timeline. You see, if success came too early, pride might destroy you. If it came too easily, gratitude might fade. And if it came without struggle, faith might remain weak. Allah wants your blessing to build you, not break you. Not break you. He delays your dream until you become the kind of person who can protect it, appreciate it, and use it for good. The delay trains your patience, deepens your sincerity, and clears your heart of arrogance. It teaches you that your effort alone cannot open the door, Only Allah can. That realization is the foundation of true success. When nothing seems to move, when the path feels blocked, that's when Allah is working the most. In silence, behind the curtain of time, He is arranging people, moments, and opportunities that will meet you at the perfect second. And when it happens, it will not just be success. It will be divine timing unfolding beautifully before your eyes. Every tear, every waiting moment, every silent prayer will suddenly make sense. You'll realize that the delay wasn't wasted time. It was sacred time. It was sacred time. It was the period when Allah was preparing your heart for what was written for you. So, when things don't happen as fast as you hope, whisper to your soul, delay is not denial. Allah is just preparing me for something perfect. When Allah tests your patience through delay, He is not punishing you. He is refining you. Every moment of waiting, every prayer that feels unanswered, every dream that seems distant, is part of a divine process meant to purify your soul before success reaches you. Allah does not simply give to anyone. He gives to those whose hearts are ready to receive with humility and gratitude. Patience is not just the act of waiting. It is the art of trusting Allah even when the path is unclear. It means holding your faith firm when nothing seems to change. Now, when nothing seems to change. In these quiet seasons of waiting, Allah is polishing your heart from within, cleansing it from pride, impatience, and despair. What He wants for you is not only worldly achievement, but spiritual maturity. Because a pure heart can carry a heavy blessing without breaking. Through every trial, Allah reveals parts of you that you didn't know existed. He shows you your weaknesses so that you may turn to Him with sincerity. He shows you your limits so you may realize that strength comes from His mercy, not from your own power. This refinement process may feel painful, but it is necessary. Just as gold must pass through fire to shine, your soul must pass through patience to be worthy of divine gifts. Without delay, you might mistake your success as your own doing. Without tests, you might forget the one who made it possible. But with every waiting moment, Allah strengthens your faith, deepens your gratitude, and teaches you that the reward for patience is far greater than the thing you are waiting for. In truth, every delay carries unseen wisdom. The time you spend waiting is not wasted. It is sacred preparation. Allah is removing obstacles you can't see, protecting you from harm you don't know about, and guiding your heart toward better things than you imagine. The refinement of your soul during these tests is itself a form of success because it draws you closer to Allah, teaches you humility, and makes you grateful before the blessing even arrives. And when that success finally comes, you look back and realize that the waiting was the very thing that made you ready for it. Every unanswered dua carries within it a hidden mercy that the heart often cannot see in the moment. When you raise your hands and your prayers seem to return in silence, it is not that Allah has turned away. It is that He is responding in a way you do not yet understand. Sometimes the silence itself is an answer, the silencer. It is Allah telling you, what you ask for is not yet good for you, or I have something better written for you. We are limited in vision, unable to see the full picture of our lives, while Allah sees everything, the past, the present, and what is yet to come. He knows how one answered prayer could lead to harm, pride, or distraction. So, in His infinite wisdom, He withholds not to deprive you, but to protect you. His delay in answering is often His mercy in disguise. When a believer's dua is met with silence, it becomes a test of sincerity. Do you pray for the outcome, or do you pray because you trust the one you're asking? Allah loves the voice of a servant who keeps calling upon Him, even when there's no visible result. The waiting, the longing, and the persistence. All of these are acts of worship that purify your soul. Sometimes the reward of a doer is not what you receive, but who you become while waiting. Your faith matures, your heart softens, and your relationship with Allah deepens. And then, one day, when the time is right, the door opens so easily that you realize why it had to stay closed before. Every doer is heard, every tear is counted, and every sigh is written. But Allah answers in three ways. He gives you what you ask for, He delays it for a better time, or He replaces it with something far superior. Each answer reflects His love and wisdom. So even when you don't receive what you hoped for, know that you've already been blessed, because you were guided to call upon the most merciful. The act of turning to Him is itself a sign that He has chosen you for His attention. No dua is ever wasted. It travels to the heavens and returns in the form of mercy, strength, or protection. What you think is unanswered may one day become the greatest answered prayer of your life. When Allah delays your success, it is often because the very thing you are asking for might harm you if it came too soon. Many times, what appears to be a setback is actually divine protection. You may see a closed door and feel disappointment, but Allah sees what lies behind it. The pride that could rise within you, the wrong people who could surround you, the distractions that could pull your heart away from Him. Sometimes He withholds success because the environment around you is not safe for your soul. He shields you from hidden dangers that your limited vision cannot detect. It is a mercy disguised as delay. When you feel left behind, remember that Allah never withholds without reason. Every pause, every rejection, every silence carries a protection you may only understand later. There are times when quick success could make you arrogant. You might begin to depend on yourself and forget the one who granted it. You might lose your humility, your gratitude, or your connection to the source of your blessing. So, Allah protects you from that version of yourself. He slows you down so that you never confuse your own effort with His decree. The longer you wait, the more you learn to rely on Him, not on your skills or timing. That reliance becomes your greatest strength. What feels like a delay is actually a shield, a barrier between you and unseen harm, between you and the tests that could break your spirit. Allah's protection is not always visible. Sometimes He takes something away and you call it loss, but in truth, He is removing what could have destroyed you later. Other times, He delays a blessing so that you meet it at the right moment, when your heart is strong enough to handle it with wisdom and gratitude. When you finally reach what was written for you, you'll see how every disappointment was steering you in the right direction. You'll realize that being protected was far better than being promoted too soon. Allah's delays are never meant to harm you. They are meant to guard you. So, when your plans are interrupted, don't grieve. Say Alhamdulillah, for perhaps Allah just saved you from something you could not see. True success begins when you stop relying on your own plans and start trusting the one who designed your destiny. Many people chase their goals with relentless energy, believing that effort alone will open every door. They plan, they dream, they strive. Something feels missing. Sure, something feels missing. That emptiness is the absence of surrender. You can do everything right and still fail if Allah has not written it for you. And you can fail 100 times and still succeed in the end if Allah wills it. Real success is not the moment when your dream comes true, but when your heart fully trusts that Allah knows what's best for you, even when your plans fall apart. When you place your trust in Him, you stop fearing loss, because you know nothing escapes His wisdom. Trusting Allah doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means doing your best while knowing that outcomes belong to Him alone. It is walking the path with faith, even when the destination is hidden. It's easy to trust when things go well, But true trust is proven when nothing makes sense. That's when faith becomes strength. The believer understands that Allah's delay is not a failure of His promise. It is the unfolding of His perfect timing. When you trust, you find peace in uncertainty. You stop begging for things to happen your way and start praying for them to happen in the best way. This surrender lifts the heavy weight from your heart and replaces it with serenity, because you no longer carry the burden of control. When trust fills your heart, even your struggles become a form of worship. You see every setback as a sign that Allah is guiding you somewhere better. You begin to understand that what is written for you will reach you, and what isn't meant for you will pass, no matter how hard you chase it. That realization frees you from anxiety, envy, and doubt. True success is not about achieving everything you want. It's about being content with everything Allah decrees. When you learn to trust His plan more than your own, you find a deeper kind of success, one that brings peace to your soul, even before your goals are achieved. What you often call a setback is, in reality, a setup from Allah for something far greater than you imagined. Many times, when your plans collapse suddenly changes, you feel lost and defeated. You wonder why Allah would let everything fall apart after you tried so hard. But what if the failure you see is only the foundation for something higher that hasn't yet been revealed? Allah never allows something to break in your life unless He intends to rebuild it stronger. When a door closes, it's because He wants you to take a path that leads to more growth, more wisdom, and more closeness to Him. What looks like an ending is often the start of a better chapter. The delay, the loss, and the rejection are not barriers. They are bridges to what's written for you. In those moments of setback, Allah is secretly redirecting you. Perhaps the job you didn't get was protecting you from corruption, or the relationship that ended was saving your heart from future pain. The opportunity that slipped away might have been a trap disguised as success. Allah removes what you think you need to make space for what you truly need. Every disappointment carries a hidden gift. Every closed door guards a greater opening ahead. The believer's task is not to despair when things go wrong, but to trust that Allah's hand is still guiding the journey, even through detours. What feels like a delay to you is often divine rearrangement, Allah aligning everything perfectly before the blessing reaches you. Sometimes Allah allows you to taste loss so that when success arrives, you value it with humility and gratitude. He lets you fall not to destroy you, but to teach you how to rise with faith. When things fall apart, He is removing your dependence on the world so that your heart learns to depend only on Him. Later, when you look back, you'll see that every painful moment was a piece of a perfect plan. What you once called a setback was actually a setup, a redirection towards something better, purer, and more meaningful. Allah never wastes your tears or your trials. Each one becomes a step toward the success He always intended for you. The moment you stop rushing Allah's plan and start trusting His timing is the moment true peace begins to enter your heart. Human beings are naturally impatient. We want everything quickly. Answers, success, change, relief. But Allah's wisdom is not bound by our sense of urgency. He delays not because He forgets, but because He knows exactly when your heart, your circumstances, and your faith will align for what is written to unfold. Every second of waiting is carefully measured, every pause filled with purpose. When you rush the plan, you carry unnecessary stress. When you trust it, you find peace even in uncertainty. The believer's heart learns that what is meant for you will never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. That understanding frees you from anxiety and comparison, allowing your soul to rest in the calm of surrender. Trusting Allah's timing is an act of deep faith. It means believing that even the slow seasons of your life are part of His mercy. Sometimes the delay allows your heart to mature, your intentions to purify, or your environment to prepare. You may not see it now, but Allah is aligning everything behind the scenes. Opportunities, people, and lessons. So that when the blessing arrives, it arrives perfectly. When you stop forcing outcomes, you begin to witness how beautifully Allah's plan unfolds without your interference. You start seeing wisdom in waiting, strength in silence, and beauty in patience. Every moment that once felt empty begins to feel sacred because you know Allah is in control. When you no longer measure your peace by speed but by trust, life becomes lighter. The stress of a when fades, replaced by the calm of a whenever Allah wills. This shift transforms your waiting into worship and your patience into power. You no longer feel delayed, you feel guided. The one who trusts Allah's timing never loses, because even in waiting, there is reward. Every heartbeat spent in faith brings you closer to Him. So, when things seem slow, whisper to your soul that peace is not in the outcome. It's in the surrender. The moment you stop rushing and start trusting, you will realize that Allah's timing was never late. It was always perfect.